Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome to episode 90 of the Wilderness Podcast. I am your host, Dills, and with me is Deegan.
Hey, how's it going?
This week we will be talking about yet some more Theater of Blood changes. I guess the actual changes from the ones we talked about last week. Some Dead Man Mode tournament stuff, and I guess a couple little things. So you'll have to wait to see what that is. But before we get into that,
Twitch and Twitter, DeeganRS.
Yeah, there we go. All right, guys, thanks for listening.
Do some branding.
All right, so what'd you do this week?
Okay, real life. I don't know if I've complained about it in the past, but all my shit's breaking. Have I mentioned that before? How, like,
Keyboard, chair,
my other headset, which I fixed.
Okay, headset now.
My phone fucked up.
Okay, phone.
And my computer's fucking up.
And your whole computer, so that's not good. What's going on? What are you doing over there?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like throwing magnets around my apartment. I don't even realize it. It's just breaking all my shit. Okay, so my phone charger got pushed inside my phone.
Right, okay.
So I had the option of getting a new phone, going to a repair shop and spending $100, or remembering that there's a thing called wireless charging. So I went and bought a charger for like $20.
A wireless charger.
Yeah.
So I know those things exist, but I'm too stupid to know how they actually work.
Yeah, me too. I just say like magnets or some shit, because it's like this pad that you can't get wet. You don't want near like your computer. I mean, mine's kind of near, but you know, you don't want it to be on top of your computer. And you just like place your phone on top, and then it just starts lighting up, and you're like, oh, it's charging now. It's weird.
So it's like the energy bracelets, but for your phone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Kind of, because you have to keep your phone like perfectly balanced if it's not like balanced properly.
Weird. I remember once I went to Costco and they had, this was a long time ago, so it's probably really shitty technology because it was still kind of new. I don't even think they were. Anyways, I went to Costco and they had one on display and they're like, you can test it out. You can drop your phone on it and it'll charge. And I had like either an iPhone 4 or like a Samsung Galaxy 3. Like, I can't remember, something very ancient now.
Yeah.
But I dropped it on there and it just put a giant black dot on my screen. And I was like, wow, that's instantly fucked my phone up. Okay.
And it's broken.
Yeah, exactly. So that was fun.
Probably magnet stuff. My computer, I know what causes the issues. I just have to figure it out. It's NVIDIA being stupid.
Right?
Whatever. It's not a big deal. I don't want to like go into it because no one likes to hear computer talk.
Again, I'm too stupid with this stuff to like have any idea. Like, me and my buddy built my computer, and at the time I was learning about all the different components. Yeah, all the different parts and what they did. It's been like 2 years since, and I've just lost all memory of what each thing does.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But there's probably some more real life stuff that I'm not remembering. But that doesn't matter. No one's here for that. So Runescape, I did a lot of stuff, you know?
Oh, another very eventful week?
Yeah, so I guess we'll just start. I got 80 rune crafting.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah. In the meantime, or during the process, I was flipping. I think I mentioned that before.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was just doing blood runes, and I flipped. Okay, last week, some guy we were talking about how he bought like a bunch of bloods and Zara scales.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we were like, oh, you might want to get rid of those. I feel so fucking bad because like 2-3 days after we finished recording, like Zara scales went to like 210, Bloods went up to 220. Like I feel so bad if
I actually don't think you said to chuck them. I'm pretty sure you said hold on to them because they will probably go back up depending on when at what point you bought them.
Thank God. Okay, cool. Because I thought I said chuck them, like just get rid of them, or like be ready to lose some money. And then like the next couple days, everything starts going up, and I'm like, fuck. Can we? Oh shit. Oh no. I'm gonna feel like such an asshole.
Quick bonus episode.
Yeah. Disregard everything I've ever said.
I've noticed that too because again, I guess with you, I'm runecrafting blood runes. By the way, do you know how many you got to when you got to 82?
No, I could probably do the math though.
Okay, well, anyways, they were at about 200 gold per blood rune, and right now, I checked this morning, and they were like 211. Like, every day, they're going up by like 2 GP.
Yeah. 77 to 82 rune crafting is just under 40k.
Yeah, okay.
In the meantime, though, I was buying bloods. I bought like 80,000 bloods.
Fuck.
Bought them at like between 200 and 205. And I sold 20k at 210, 20k at 215, and then 40k at 220.
220? What point were they at 220?
Dude, I don't know. What would happen is I'd put in like 20k at 210. I'm like, oh, I bought these at like let's just round up to 205, even though most of them were like 201, 202. And then I was like, okay, well, let's put them at 210 and let's just see if they buy. Because if not, I'm gonna be using them at some point, so it's not like a complete waste of money. And then they sold, and I'm like, what the fuck? So then I put another 20k in for 215, and those sold, and I'm like, I'm just gonna put the whole stack in. I mean, keep in mind, I didn't you can't insta buy 80k, so this is like over the course of, it's not like this happened overnight. This was like 5-day process.
Yeah, because I think you're stuck at 12,000 per 8 hours or 6 hours. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And when I'm looking at the prices of these, I am going off just the RuneScape GE tracker, like the website, because that's the problem when you're using RuneLite now, is that OS Buddy had a much more exact market tracker, whereas this one, it averages everything out. For instance, if you look at any of the Theater of Blood items, they're at like 200 mil each. But if then you go on the graph on the Oldschool RuneScape website, it shows that they're just climbing hardcore, but they're averaging it from 0 GP because when they weren't released, they were valued at nothing.
Yeah.
So now it's averaging. So a scythe might be 200 mil now, but you could probably sell it for like 800 mil. I'm just throwing numbers out there. I don't know exactly, but that's the problem when you're looking at the GE tracker versus OS Buddy, because OS Buddy will track exactly what you're selling it at, and then you could see what people are buying each day.
Yeah. So I was flipping a bunch of bloods, made some nice money from that, and then I think I talked about it last week, some stuff I was flipping or trying to flip. I invested like 60 mil in the GE, and I bought a bunch of random prayer potion supply stuff. Not prayer potion, herbler stuff, like prayer potion supplies, brews, like random ass shit that would just go into herbler.
So like birds' nests and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I noticed a lot of them had crashed. And I was like, you know what? Let me just buy up a bunch of like random ass supplies and see if I can make any money. Worst case scenario, I can always just get some cheaper herbler experience. And then I bought a bunch of shit and it crashed even harder, and some of it came back, so I sold off most of it. I lost 3 mil in the process though, because I was gonna do a Theater of Blood, so I went and sold off all my shit, and then the dude just ghosted me, and I was really pissed.
Oh fuck, that sucks.
But in the process, I flipped my declaws for 1.5 mil.
Okay, so in the end, you're making profit?
With supplies and the claws, add those together, I lost 1.5 mil.
Oh, so those flips you were talking about last week ended up failing on you.
I could have made some money, but it was kind of like, dude, come do Theater of Blood. Now? Yeah, dude. Okay. What do I need? Just declaws, and I know you have everything else. Okay. And I went just started selling off all my shit, just drop it down a couple percent. That's what I meant, but when I lost profit.
Gotcha.
How I lost it.
Okay.
Overall, though, I was pretty well off my flips. I'm trying out some new things this week, so I can let you guys know how that goes.
Wow, weekly merching updates. This is exciting.
And this is like another random. It's different. It's a lot safer. I won't be making as much, but I guess losing. But
Are we gonna have to add a new segment for financial advisory?
Yeah, I guess. Couple of bimbos talking about what to do with your money.
You talking? I'm sitting there just listening, writing everything down.
Truth. But anyways, enough for the flips. After I got 82 rune crafting, I went and did 80 crafting, 75 to 80 crafting.
Okay, not bad. That's got to be a bit costly, right?
Dude, you want to hear something fucked? I should
Yes.
I should probably include this in my flips. It was like almost 1 mil, I think. I think it was like 1 mil doing 75 to 80 crafting.
Costed you 1 mil.
Yeah, do it with dehyde bodies. Maybe like 1.2 mil if I include the nats, but the nature runes I got through Slayer, but I'll include those.
Okay, so
I put in a low buy for blue and red leather, and they actually bought during the whole rune crafting escapade, or in like a day or two.
Okay,
And then I made the bodies and elked them while I got 80 agility.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It overlapped pretty well, and I got both my 80s. And then I went and got 89 smithing after that, and that cost me 15 mil.
Oh, you're doing gold ore?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. So 1 mil to go 5 levels from 75 to 80. That's cheap.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've trained crafting that I can't remember how. I know it's expensive.
I was doing dehyde bodies, and that's really costly. It's fast, but costly. Like, you lose a decent amount of money, but I just threw in, like, low buys, and it all bought.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, pretty nice. So I didn't lose that much. Pretty, like, efficient, I guess. Efficient buys and good GP per EXP and whatnot.
Yeah.
I got, like, 800k crafting or something. So it's, I don't know the math on that, but it's not bad. Almost 1 GP per XP.
Okay.
So that's nice. Anyways, spent 15 mil, got 89 smithing. That really hurt. I'm not gonna lie, that really hurt me.
But it's fast, right?
It's so fast. I was averaging, I did a little bit of it on stream, and so I was like distracted, and I was getting like 300k an hour, but off stream I was able to pull 330k pretty consistently.
It's not bad. See, I think what I'm gonna, I plan to be getting my 88 smith. Is it 88 or 89?
If you want to do all the elite diaries, 89.
89. Okay, so I'll probably be going for that at some point. 88 for now. I think I'm just gonna stick to like adamant bars and runite bars because I'm a sucker for that GP flow.
Yeah, I found like because I did myth bars. I don't know if you guys remember around. This happened when Grotesque. Funny enough, this happened when Grotesque Guardians came out, where I bought enough for 89 smithing, the mithril ore and coal, and then Grotesque Guardians came out, and all that shit dropped super fucking hard.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
I was so mad. Doing myth, it was a nightmare. Having to keep track of how much coal and stuff like that was so fucking brutal.
It's funny, I don't find, like I was doing adamant bars, and if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a while, but for mithril, adamant, and I'm assuming runite, you're going to want the coal bag because it stores, 28 coal?
Yeah.
Okay, so it gives you an extra inventory. For adamant bars, you want to do 3 inventories of coal, 1 inventory of adamant ores, which means, you factor in that coal bag as an extra inventory, so you're doing 2 inventories per run. And I didn't really have that big of a problem keeping track of the coal, and I found the process more enjoyable than actually doing gold ore because it's slower and you got to do it longer. But with gold ore, you have to like click on that bucket to cool down. Like you have to manually.
You use ice gloves.
Don't you want that smithing gauntlets that help you with the gold ore experience?
Wait, what? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, of course. Dude, imagine if I did gold ores with the gauntlets. That'd be fucked.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why gold ore is such a good experience, right?
Yeah. It's because of the goldsmithing gauntlets.
You get that from Family Crest.
Yeah, with Family Crest gives you the gloves that turn to cooking, chaos, and goldsmithing gauntlets.
Yeah, and with not a recent update, but since that quest originally came out, you can now get all 3 gloves. You don't have to change the gauntlets. You used to only be able to get 1 pair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you used to have to get 1 pair and exchange it each time you want to change it to the chaos or the cooking. but now you can have one of each.
I didn't know that because I was running around exchanging my gauntlets around.
I think it's more expensive and it's supposed to act like a gold sink.
Yeah, but it's convenience and fashionscape.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay. That's nice to know.
Yeah, I found the process with doing gold ore more tedious because since you have the goldsmith gauntlets on, you need to use a bucket of water to cool down your bars, whereas with adamant, you just use the ice gloves.
No, you can use the ice gloves. So what you do is you place the ore on the conveyor belt and you have your ice gloves equipped as you quickly run, and like you got to make sure you have like a like buffered. So you do like one inventory that you don't like when you first start off doing goldsmithing. You put in one inventory of gold ore and you don't pull it out. You just go straight back to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have. There's no like delay between you putting it on the conveyor belt and pulling it off the bar maker.
Okay.
It saves you like. It honestly adds like a lot of experience per hour. Like you save a lot of time. So what you do is after you have like the buffered thing that you do once when you first start, you throw it on the conveyor belt, and then with your ice gloves equipped, you just quickly go to like the bar maker, and then like the make all interface comes up, and you just like you hit spacebar, and then you like left click your goldsmithing gauntlets, and you pull them out, and you pull the bars, and you get the goldsmithing gauntlet experience. Because while you're looking at the interface, you can't actually get experience for smithing.
Okay.
It happens after you close out. Yeah, if you do like a full inventory of like 28 or whatever, you'll hit spacebar, and then like the interface will like change, and it'll say you don't have enough inventory to withdraw your gold ore. And then during that interface, you just click the gloves, and then you click to move, and then you pull them out, and you get the experience.
True. It seems less tedious than the bucket, but more tedious than doing the adamant ore. But the only problem is gold ore is so much faster.
Yeah, it's a preference. I hated keeping track of like, okay, a coal bag and an inventory of coal, and then a myth and a coal bag of, you know what I mean? Like I hated having to keep track of like where I was with the coal, and I'd always forget and fuck up. I prefer the like once I get the muscle memory, it's like then it's like, okay, how fast can I do this? Can I be like tick perfect? And I was getting like, I had like 2 hours. I was getting 335k, which is like near max rate, which feels pretty nice.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, smithing is so fast. Like it's going from like rune crafting and like agility and shit to smithing, it's nuts.
The breath of fresh air.
Like the speed, the amount. I'm totally fine putting in the extra effort just because of how fast like the experience comes.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, though, I'll keep going. I'm almost done. Don't worry. I went and got my Questcape. Went and got that bitch back.
Okay.
And then I went and dude, that took me like, I think actually 20 minutes to do like the 3 quests.
The Zeah quests?
Corsair Curse, Tales of Righteous, and Depths of Despair. Oh, no, and Queen of Thieves. It was such a fast process. I just like opened up all the quick guides for like Zeah specifically, and then I like put them all next to each other and tried to do as many as I could at the same time.
Yeah, it seems those new quests were meant to be kind of quick. You just run and talk to some people, and boom, you're basically done. You stay in one small area. You don't need to bring teleports.
Dude, the Zarek talisman is so clutch when you're questing on Zeah.
It is
good.
Like
there's some really good teleports with that. Anyways, though, got the Questcape, and then I went and did my Elite Fremenix, Lumbridge, Varrock, and Western Diaries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I got some good, like, completionist-esque things this week.
Give us the big perks from each of those diaries. What did you gun for those for?
Okay, honestly, runecrafting experience, I almost went from 80, like, one more diary, and I've gotten 82 to 83 just from elites.
Good stuff.
Like, that 50k experience lamp is fucking clutch.
Yeah, that is huge.
I'll just say this quickly. I have a future goal of getting 91 runecrafting, and I'm probably gonna do that through Bloods.
Hell yeah.
On average, 115 hours of runecrafting.
Okay.
At Bloods. This saves a lot of time. Getting 150k experience saves, 5 hours? Plus the perks are nice, and some of the perks are. So for Fremennik, you get like the boots, which is nice because you have unlimited teleports to Relica, which is nice for like clues, and which I don't do, but Vorkath.
Yep, that's the big one.
Yeah, the Dagonoth bones that you get from the Dagonoth Kings, they become noted, which is huge.
That's a big one too, yep.
Depending where you do your troll task, this is kind of nice, but you can change your enchanted lyre teleport location to Yadazo or Nadaznod.
Does anyone actually use that lyre, though?
Well, if you do ice trolls, which I would suggest you do if you get a troll task, you can. The lyre would be really nice to bring you straight to Yadazo.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what? I didn't know it was like Yatizo and nay, tis not. I didn't realize the punniness. Someone, maybe it was you that told me that a couple of weeks ago.
I can't remember where I found that out. It might have been on a Q&A or one of those videos they did way back where the Jmods try to say the words of RuneScape.
Yeah.
Because the thing with RuneScape is half the time you're not saying the words out, you're just looking at them. You're like, okay, so it's Ardragon. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's Janyanzito. And Ardugani.
Yeah.
But then when you start doing a podcast and you're actually having to say the words, you're just, fuck, let's go on the wiki. Maybe they'll have it kind of spelt out properly and how you pronounce it. And some of the words are, but some of them are not.
Yeah. I guess that's Fremennik. Lumbridge. So the main thing is you get a 6th block slot with your Slayer tasks.
Yeah, that's nice.
There's like Lumbridge is pretty OP. You can use fairy rings without a Dromin or a lunar staff.
That's the big one for me.
Huge. And Explorer ring, which is nice because you get 100% run energy 3 times a day, which is just convenient for like rune crafting, just saving staminas, whatever. Like if you're doing bloods and you fuck up.
Yep.
Like, oh, okay, I got 3 mistakes. Because usually you can make it like a full lap of bloods without losing or without having to walk.
Yeah, you get down to like 3 energy by the time you're back at the rune essence.
Yeah.
The problem that I encountered with that ring, which is a very specific problem to me, sometimes when I fuck up or because I'm just not paying attention or I'm too lazy and I want to AFK even more, I have my Arceus spellbook equipped, and then I'll use the home teleport that kind of teleports you just a little bit away from the Dark Altar, so then you can just kind of click that.
Yeah.
Saves you some clicks. Might take a little bit longer, but you save some clicks. What I ended up doing was using the home teleport, and you teleport past the Dark Altar on the way to the Blood Runes. So I was playing a game on the side, and then I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, I've ran past the Dark Altar, therefore I don't need to visit it. I should just run straight to the Blood Altar. So I run straight there, realize I didn't turn my essence into the dark ones, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to click on the Dark Altar. I'm running out of energy. Let me just use my Explorer's Ring, and whoops, I accidentally teleported. Now I'm at the Falador farming spot.
Yeah, the cabbage.
And I'm like, okay, I got 25 minutes before I can teleport back to the Arceus place. I got to walk all the way back there. Fuck me.
Yeah, it's a struggle. But that being said, ring is super nice for farming because of the teleport and the run energy. And then you get the main thing with elites is that you get 30 high elks per day. You don't get the experience, but if you're barraging certain tasks.
That's right.
I don't like leaving rune pieces on the ground. I'm cheap as fuck, so I'll get a full inventory and bank them.
Yep, me
but
too.
Being able to elk 30 things is super nice.
Oh, yeah.
Go like Necreals. Woo-wee. Makes that experience that much better.
I think that's the one you want it for, really. Those rune kites.
Yeah. But the extra slot to block tasks and then the elks are like dope. Varrock, I said, was another one I got. And that... So the main thing is 120 battle staffs from Zeah for 7k each. So you pretty much free money every day.
Yeah, it's like 120k a day. Maybe a little bit more.
You have a 10% chance of smelting 2 bars at any bar at the Edgeville furnace. So it's really nice for Iron Man, but not me because I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
You have a 10% chance of mining 2 of any ore.
Just in general?
Yep.
Is that good for Motherlode?
No, you can't use it for Motherlode or Blast Mine. Like actual like amethyst, like iron, whatever. And it also acts as a prospector jacket.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so that's really nice. Pretty huge. If you want to get the superior mining gloves and stuff, like this will give you a better chance.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty nice. And then Western Diaries, honestly, I kind of just did it because I could do it and I want the experience. But if you like hunting pets, you unlock a Chompy Chick pet you're able to catch. It's a 1 in 500. You get like a roll when you kill it and then a roll when you pluck it.
You get 2 chompies per bait you put out, right?
Per like time it procs. 'Cause not every bait catches a Chompy, but yeah, you'll always find 2 now.
It makes getting that pet super easy.
200, 300 to 1k kill count, because that's what you need for, like, hard is 300 chompy kills and elite's 1000.
Right.
I was getting 225 kills per hour. I averaged that out. Probably going to be what, like 250 maybe 300 kills per hour. So it'll only take you 2 hours to get the chompy chick pet if you're like efficient.
And the bird meat's worth like 2 to 3k each.
Yeah, but I don't pick that up.
But you get like 3 mil at the end of it. Come on.
It'll turn like 200 plus to like 50 kills per hour though.
Yeah,
because
I know.
what I do is I bring home teleports or house teleports or house taps. I have the pool, and then the rest of my inventory I have filled with ogre bellows minus 3 inventory slots, so I can get 3 toads.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes it like a way faster process. You get unlimited teleports to Piscator's fishing colony, which is nice.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then if you don't like doing Duradel, like let's say you just really hate Slayer, Neve/Steve, spoilers, you'll get the same amount of Slayer points from them. So if you're trying to grind out points, it might be better if you have this diary done to swap to Neve and Steve, because the tasks might be more optimal, might be quicker, but I don't really know. I just like my Duradel.
Me too.
That's pretty much it that I did this week. Quite a bit of stuff. There's probably some more things I'm missing. I'm not really too sure. Overall, I want to get 91 rune crafting, fishing, 85 agility. I think those are my next goals.
Is this all for Elite Diaries?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I need to get like 87 to 91 farming. I forget which number in between that.
It's not bad.
Which I can get passively while I do like rune crafting.
Super easy.
Yeah, as of right now, so the plan is to fish to 91 fishing at the Barbarian Fly Fishing until I get 91, because I'll get agility experience while I'm at it.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, and
I should be doing that. Fuck.
Yeah, dude, doing like Barbarian fishing at the lowest level, what is it, like 30 or something? I don't know. To 99, you go from 1 to 70 agility and strength. Or maybe it's 1 to 77.
Ooh.
But yeah, you get a lot of free levels. I also need but I want to get 90 fire making. I don't need that high of a level, but I'm going to get it. So I will need it at some point.
I'll take you like 2 hours.
Yeah, I'll rip through that in no time. So I think the plan is fishing, Winter Todd, and then rune crafting. And in between Winter Todd games, you can hop that little obstacle and get like a couple 100k agility experience as well, if you want to be like hyper efficient.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I don't know if I'll actually like crank out all my diaries. I think those are the last skills I need. I mean, it's going to take me a long ass time. I'll probably stop during the rune crafting grind, so I won't touch the agility for a little bit. I'm going to like just keep this grind up and then try and find like Theater of Blood teams and stuff. I hate to say it, but I might have to join a clan or something.
Ew.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's I looked around, and it's really hard to find people that are casual players but want to do Theater of Blood, and they have the max gear for it. Mm-hmm. I guess minus the T-bow. It's either like, let's do 8-hour sessions where we're like not even friends, we're just yelling at each other to be better.
Oh yeah, especially on that bloat where one guy could fuck it up. You could be like, damn it, Jim? Again? God damn it! One more time and you're gone.
Yeah, just yell at him. It's really hard to find people like in the same position as I am, I guess. Just because I'm not like the most social person.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll say stupid shit while I'm fishing, but I'm not like, hey, what up, kids? You guys like to skateboard? Anyways, I don't really think I have anything else to talk about. What'd you do this week?
I think all I've been doing really is rune crafting. I've kind of slacked a bit. I was in line to get it on Friday, but then my girlfriend decided that she wanted to celebrate her birthday this week, so I couldn't just spend.
Bitch.
I know I couldn't just spend the evening doing rune crafting, which really sucked. So we had to go out and celebrate her birthday.
That sucks.
A little bit behind. Yeah.
Just pissed off that your girlfriend's birthday comes around.
Went out for dinner and I'm just on my phone the whole time.
Yeah, sweetie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. How old are you turning again? Oh, yeah, cool. But anyways, I'm at 81 rune crafting. I pretty close to 82, a couple hours, and I'll be there. Should be there today, hopefully. But we'll have to see. We'll probably make about 8 mil once this is all said and done. But the big piece of news for my rune crafting grind is at level 78 rune crafting, I believe. I think it was 78 or 79. Anyways, I ended up getting the rune crafting pet.
God damn, dude. Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I was at work and I just, since blood rune crafting is so AFK, I can just pull up my phone quickly, set them up to start mining the rune essence or start chiseling, like without having to manually click them. I just let them go through. It takes like 5 minutes for them to chisel them all, but I just do it, close my phone. Next time I open it up, they'll all be chiseled. So I'm doing like 10-minute bursts here and there. And I was running to the blood altar and I realized there's some little dude following me. And I was like, no way, I got the fucking rune crafting pet? Holy shit. So I didn't even notice myself getting it when it first popped up. I just noticed at some point that day that it was following me. So that was a pretty nice surprise.
Yeah, dude, it's one of the cooler pets too.
Yeah, it's a cool looking pet. You can change there's this like weird orb thingy in his body that you can change the color of depending on what you're rune crafting.
Yeah. What runes you do?
Blood.
Of course.
Yeah.
What if it just ate your whole stack?
Imagine. Oh, shit. You had to like infuse all the runes you had in it. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, I was looking at all the colors and the coolest looking ones are red. And the only, you have fire runes, blood runes, and now the wrath runes. Those all give it a different tint of red, so not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You know what? That's my week right there. Just rune crafting. I can't think of anything else that I've done. But the good thing about rune crafting being so AFK with this method, Steam summer sales happened this week. It allowed me to go look through them, see if any of the games that I had my eye on went on sale. And I've talked about this before, but whenever I'm purchasing a game, a big factor is how AFK friendly is it for when I'm playing RuneScape.
Yep.
Which means if the game is either turn-based or it pauses as soon as I click off my monitor, that's a huge factor. There's a few games that I've purchased that...
Slay the Spire.
Is that a good one?
Perfect RS game. Perfect.
Cool.
If you like strategy, card games, and stuff like that, dude, it's amazing.
Yeah, so that's always a huge factor, and then the price as well. But Prison Architect, I got a long time ago when it was early access, and it seems like it would be the perfect game. It's similar to RimWorld. It's just a simulator game. You build a prison, your guys go about their day, and shit can happen. You got to prevent it, but it's just one of those building games, those like Roller Coaster Tycoon, but it's a fucking prison. Only issue is that one, when you click off of it, it doesn't pause the game. That's a big one for those type of games, because you don't want to click off of it, go about a rune crafting grind, and you go back and all your prisoners have escaped.
Yeah.
That shit's kind of annoying. And there was some other problems I had with it. I think pausing it was kind of a pain in the ass. And I can't remember if you could make it even windowed mode. Yeah, anyways, I ended up buying Darkest Dungeon because it was on sale, and I had my eye on that one for a while because a streamer that I'll watch from time to time, it's for League of Legends. I haven't really played that game too much lately, but I'm a Cutie Pie is one of the streamers that I like to watch, and I always see him playing it, and I realize...
Totino, is it Totino's, or no, is it Totino's or Domino's Streamer of the Year?
I want to say Domino's? How does that work? The pizza company sponsor him or something?
I don't know. I don't know who it was, but he became, he was awarded Streamer of the Year.
From that company?
Yeah, from one of those companies.
Okay, cool. That's not bad.
I think I might be getting them mixed up, but anyways, go on.
No, that's what we need. We need to get Podcaster of the Year, maybe given to us by like Wendy's.
Jagex? Get some recognition?
Yeah, maybe. The fast food chains is what you want.
And they misspelled both of our names. Thanks, Jagex.
Yeah. So yeah, you buy any games for the Steam Summer Sale?
Kind of. I didn't buy them because of the sale, but I bought Slap City. It's like a Smash Bros. Clone, but it's really silly, and my controller, like, the game just doesn't work for me, so don't buy it.
Oh, That's okay. It's unfortunate.
all my shit, like my game becomes unresponsive randomly, but I can still pause I can open the menu, but I can't control anything. And fucking weird. Really fun game though. It's really silly, but it doesn't work. Got the new Jurassic Park game.
Good?
Yeah, it's not bad. I like it. Haven't played it too much. I've just been playing like mad like strategy card games.
Okay.
That's my go-to when I'm like runecrafting. I'll play Hearthstone, which I played for like 3 days and realized how fucking pay to win that game is.
Yeah,
I go through the cycle of like, I really, really want to play a chill, laid back strategy game. Hearthstone. And then I'm like, what the fuck is the meta? This is some bullshit. Like Hearthstone's super fucked.
Did you ever get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links?
A bit, but it's like, it's too like you win in one turn.
Yeah, you can. I've had a lot of fun with that game.
Yeah, like my buddy's really into Yu-Gi-Oh! I have two buddies that are really into Yu-Gi-Oh! And the consensus is it's very combo heavy, where it's very like, okay, I'm gonna play these 50 cards in a row, and then like you're fucked unless you can stop me somewhere at a crucial point. I like just I like the back and forth trading monsters and like strategizing like effective value trades and stuff like that. And I like Arena, like the whole drafting your deck and then playing X amount of games with it.
This is Hearthstone?
Just in general. Just any. So I want to play like an online card game that allows me to like sit down. Like I don't like constructed decks because that's when you find like I just got one turned and I literally couldn't do anything. Doesn't happen all the time, but that shit tilts me. There's this game me and my buddy played a long time ago on Steam called Faeria. Faeria.
Okay.
And think of it as like, it's like a card game that's like mixed with, it's like Magic the Gathering, but like there's hexagonal tiles that you place and you move along those tiles. It's kind of hard to explain. It's this really weird like card game, but it's super fun. And it helps that I'm like pretty decent at it. Like I seem to win more times than not.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a free arena. It's called like Pandora or something like that. I don't know what it is.
Interesting.
Super fun game. And like it's free and like it kind of feels like there's a lot of content locked behind real money, but you can literally ignore. You don't have to buy any packs if you don't want to. There's a bunch of free shit you can do. You have like maybe 6 hours of free content, and then you can just swap straight to like the arena version where you just make your own decks and play until you get 9 wins or 3 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Really fun. It's really fun, and it's like exactly what I want, where it's very like control the board. You want to like set up where you place your tiles correctly, because if you fuck up, then they're gonna they're gonna fuck you up.
Okay, weird.
Yeah, it's a weird game. You'd have to like try and find a YouTube video or something. But
gotcha. The only game I purchased, Darkest Dungeon, roguelike or roguelite. I don't really know the term that they go with, but anyways, it's a turn-based game and I'm a huge roguelike fan.
Yep.
So that game's pretty fun. I've heard it's very difficult.
Yep.
I guess I'll see that down the road. I'm not having too much trouble right now. It's
everyone who tells me the game is easy, I then find out they looked up YouTube videos on how to play the game. Like what is the best team compositions for which rooms or whatever, which estates or whatever. And it's like you're fucking ruining the game for yourself. And of course, the game's easy when you have a cheat guide right next to you.
Yeah, I could see that. The beginning seems pretty easy. You're able to go through some of the dungeons without too much problem, but I can definitely see how it's hard, where I had a party and we went to go fight this boss of the first, because you have to like scout it first, and there's all these mini quests or whatever. I got to not even the boss, just some tough monster midway through, and it fucked my party up. So that kind of sucks, but it's pretty fun. You got to manage their stress levels, and there's like, you have a torch you have to keep lit, or else that will make the monster stronger and make your stress levels go up, but in return you get better loot. It's a little overwhelming at first because you go into the town and there's like 7 different buildings and they all do different things and you can upgrade them all, and then a bunch of different classes that you will randomly get with different skills that are unlocked, and then they have like these perks and these items, and you have to kind of each one, like you're just kind of stumbling through it. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm stumbling through it. I just randomly make a party, look at what their skills do. I make sure one person can heal, and
yeah,
it's fun though. I do enjoy it. It is definitely in my RuneScape friendly AFK games, alongside with RimWorld, Faster Than Light. That's a perfect RuneScape game. and Stardew Valley is another classic for RuneScape. But yeah, a few of them there. Yeah, and anyone else who's taken advantage of the summer sales, let us know what game you decided to buy, because I'm kind of interested. You know, they always have these huge sales, and I kind of just search for the games that I've had my eye on, and hopefully they go on sale.
See, it's funny because I kind of forgot it was a summer sale. I was trying to, like, one day, like, almost every game in my library came up with an update, like a fluff update where they didn't really add anything, but it's like they made a news post, which very few games actually do. Except for Slay the Spire, weekly updates alongside with RuneScape, so it's really nice.
Nice.
I'm going to suggest you get that. Yeah, I guess they're all updating it, so when you look at it on Steam Summer Sale, it's like, oh, they actually update their games, cool. And then you realize you're getting taken for a ride.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, shall we continue though? Move on?
Yeah, that's basically it. Quick disclaimer, I guess this isn't really a disclaimer, but we are recording a little bit earlier than usual. We will be releasing this episode a few days earlier, which is, I was going to say this episode might be shorter than usual, but we seem to be making the usual time length of things.
Yeah.
The lore section of this episode is going to be very brief, but the reason we're pushing everything back a little bit or forward, anyways, I got the next week off of work. I got another vacation week coming up, doing a little bit of camping. So in order to get this one edited and out on time, we're going to release it a little bit earlier. So yeah, that's basically it.
Yep.
Let's move her on to the news.
So we got some Theater of Blood changes to talk about first. We talked about some of the tweaks they suggested last week, I guess, and so they've implemented some of them. They fixed the spectating. There's viewing points now, so there's more optimal, I guess, spectating.
Yep.
In the Theater of Blood, so that's pretty nice. Team scaling, they went ahead and did that. So at a group of 3, the bosses have 75% of their original hit points, and players in groups of 4, the bosses will have 87.5% of their original hit points.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. We'll see how that pans out.
So I want to know how this actually fares, because honestly, if a 3 or 4 man is more optimal, we're not going to hear about it. Unless there's like a whistleblower.
Yeah, that's the problem. You won't hear about it until you actually go out and try it yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be like, what we were talking about last week, my concerns with the communication and coordinating with your team could turn out to be a lot easier when you're only doing it with 2 other players.
Yep.
So we'll have to see how that goes.
I don't know what affects an item's drop rate, a unique, but I have a buddy who runs Theater of Blood like every day. He does like a lot of raiding, and he pulls an item like every single day. He's pulled 3 in a day, no problem. He's averaging like 10 mil an hour.
People are thinking that it might be a 1 in 8 drop rate.
Pretty fucked. And if it's like a Zarek type thing where it's like there's a hidden point system and that's how it gets awarded to the person, and there's 3 people and it like averages out, like you might be able to get more money per hour on a team of 3 or 4. Like, and let's say you're in Oblivion or something. You're not gonna, yeah, like you're not going to, well, I only say Oblivion because like, if anything, you know, they have Inferno capes and shit, so they're gonna get like the max rates. But they will, if they're able to pull over 10 mil an hour consistently with like a group of 4, they're not going to tell anyone.
That's the thing. That's exactly what we're seeing with Vorkath, where there was an uproar as soon as they were talking about increasing the drop rates, and then it kind of, nobody talks about it now. But when you run it, it's just like a known thing where someone's like, I need to make money. Should I go Zulrah or Vorkath? And you say, well, if you can do Vorkath, probably do Vorkath.
Yeah. I always say Zulrah until you get a Hunter Crossbow, because Vorkath is so fucking boring that by the time you grind out a Hunter Crossbow, you don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's my reasoning. But anyways, there's no Vorkath update, so...
Yeah, that's the problem with the things, though, is that they find something that not they can abuse. It just stays on the hush-hush, because people want to make as much money as they can.
Do you remember, I've talked about this in the past, but there's like a cycle, and I made an offhand comment / joke about Theater of Blood being 10 mil if they don't nerf Vorkath. I mean, it's one person, but he's got a lot of experience in theater of blood, and he's getting 10 mil an hour.
Yeah. And that's the worry, is that we talk about power creep with gear, but also look at the gold creep we're kind of getting. And it seems like to be a reoccurring theme. Remember when wyverns were like 800k and people were complaining about wyverns being so much money? And then eventually they just released gargoyles. Like, they released something else to be better. And people were just, well, no point in complaining about wyverns. Let's complain about the next thing. And then
Brutal
the
Black
next
Dragons, though, they released that with no Slayer requirement and way more money. I mean, eventually they gave it a 77 Slayer requirement and they took off the full helm, but it's still, you go to a 2K world and you see people AFKing them with T-bows. That's how good the money is.
I don't think they took off the full helm.
Pretty sure they did.
Oh, wow, they did take off the full helmet. Jesus, where am I?
Damage is still done, though. There's already so many have been brought into the game that the damage, like, it's not ever going to go back up.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Going back to the nerf of the HP, it's funny. I still see people complaining, saying a 3-man team, it should scale exactly to each person, so it should be 60%, not 75%.
No, that's so fucked. Because then the whole point you made of it being easier to coordinate with 3 people, it will turn into a thing where you only want 3 people.
Yep.
Because it's easier and more efficient.
And the splits is going to be a lot less.
Splits, yeah, exactly. Keep in mind, it is early theater blood, so maybe that's why people are pulling 10 mil an hour easy.
Yeah.
Because the items have yet to settle. And at the rate the items are coming in, like, if my buddy messaged me saying, I got a scythe and 2 hilts, or 2 defender hilts today, and then the next day he goes, I got a rapier and 2 hilts, or defender, like, you know, you're like, okay, this shit's just pouring in. It's going to be cheap soon enough.
Yeah, and you're not going to have a twisted bow item where it's worth, like, 1 bill at all times. Like, Chambers of Xeric have been out for a year and a half, maybe more. Twisted bow is still worth 1 bill.
Yeah, but that is because it takes, depending on how well you do and how you're doing it, but between 1,400 to like 700 hours to get one.
What I'm saying, though, is over time, it might be funny to see what the Theater of Blood money per hour will actually equal out to. Like, what if Chambers of Xeric becomes still a better way to make money because of that twisted bow chance?
Maybe. I'm not really too sure on that.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I mean, over time, yeah. If you were to put in, like, say, 1,500 hours into both of them, well, no. I mean, like, I don't know, actually, because Theater of Blood just a lot. But, you know, getting a 1 bill split of, like, between 3 people or something, 1.2 bill, like, that's...
But let's say you fast forward to, like, a year from now. What happens when all the items are below 20 mil from Theater of Blood because they're so common?
I don't think that'll happen.
Okay, yeah, they are very good. You look at the Bandos items, but Bandos, it is harder to get some of them, but...
Well, the main thing is you can't really, like, trade around the hilt, so I could see the hilt being a lot cheaper. I could see it, like, being, like, 10 mil, 5-10 mil, around the, like, when it settles, like, around the same price like a torture. I could easily see that. Maybe a bit more. Like, the rapier I think it'll always hold some decent value because it'll be really good for staking. Well, actually marginally better, like barely better for staking, but still better. And also, you know, 75 attack, best in slot strength training weapon.
Yeah, fair enough.
So that's where it holds value. And then the scythe will be amazing for PVMing. It's so good in Theater of Blood. It is so good.
Yeah.
So and then the Sanguine SI staff, I don't really know what's up with that. I feel like it's more of like a solo PVM thing. Like, you don't really bring it into raids. Like, I don't really know.
It might be okay for raids, like the Chambers of Xeric.
Yeah, it would that would make like running the head a lot more forgiving. If you fuck up, ability to heal up and you get an extra max hit. That's a good point. But yeah, anyways, we still have some more to talk about, so we'll just quickly rip through this stuff. So they don't really have an official name for like the resource chest stuff, but they'll just be talking about, you know, how much challenge rooms they yield for you, and they reward you based on your performance, blah, 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 blah. A performance considered to be above average will be awarded 10 to 13 points. An average performance is 8 to 11, and below average is 6 to 9. So they did go ahead with their shop idea.
Yeah, they did push that through.
They're going to regret this when it comes to Iron. There's going to be an Iron Man meta where you don't need to farm every fucking 30 seconds. You know, you could just run Theater of Blood with, like, go into an Iron Man Tob CC where you run the first 2-3 rooms. The first 2 rooms or whatever, and you get your resources, and then you just, because you could do the first 2 rooms by only taking like a stam sip or 2, like maybe some restores, but you can do it without taking like any damage or need for brews and stuff. Like we've seen teams getting through them with next to no supplies.
And here's the big issue that I find with this, and it's usually for the Iron Man really. Ceradomin brews cost 3 points. Super restores cost 3 points. Prayer Potion, 2 points. Sea Turtle and Manta Rays, 2 points. Now, Stamina Potion, Mushroom Potato, and Sharks are all 1 point. So what I think Iron Men are going to start doing, they're going to farm the first 2 rooms. They'll get, let's say, average 8 to 11 points. That allows you to buy between 8 and 11 Stamina Potions instead of having to go do Agility and getting the Emily's crystals.
Yep. If you have 99 Agility, you should have enough for like a while, but it'll run out at some point. Maybe it's already run out for some people.
Or maybe you want that recolor?
Yeah. Keep in mind, some of these people have they have T-bows and shit from Xerix, and like you run through like 3-4 stams in a Xeric if you're an Iron, like in general, if you're doing a solo and you're running the head, you're going to bring 3 to 4 stams in.
Okay.
And so if you're in like this weird limbo of like you need Xeric items, but like you know, you already have 99 agility, it might actually be more efficient to find a group and then just run the first 2 rooms over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably get like, you get 45 minutes to do a full clear, like 10 minutes for like 8
stamina.
You know
potions?
what I mean? So you could get, yeah, like, what do you think? Maybe like, 10 minutes to get the first 2 rooms done if you're like a competent team and stuff. Maybe even shorter.
Yeah, I'd say maybe even shorter. But now to play devil's advocate, this is super hard content to do. Is it really that big of a deal if we have endgame Iron Men being able to get themselves stamina potions easier without having to do more agility?
No, I think it's okay.
That's the argument where I go, well, I guess it's not that big of a deal. On paper, it's like, well, why should Iron Men be able to get this easier? But then again, it's not going to be the meta for all Iron Men. This is endgame Iron Men we're talking about.
This is like, you can't be fucking asked to do more agility. You already have 99. At this point, you have 99 farming and shit.
Yeah.
You're going to get what, like, on average, between like up to 66, like on average, like, let's just say like 60 stams an hour, which is a decent amount, but you're also dedicating an hour dedicated to getting stams.
And I'm also not sure, because they don't say in this dev blog, and I haven't watched any streams of it happening, who's to say if you can even bank them right from the chest?
Yeah, maybe they didn't mention that you'll be able to bank items.
Obviously, we could go watch a stream and see how it actually works, and you might be able to. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, you could always just bring empty inventory supplies and just leave and bank some of it. I mean, maybe you'd only get like 5 per trip, but that's a good point. I kind of forgot they could easily just take out the banking option. But yeah, anyways, we'll continue. So the Nihilukas room, is that how you say it? Nihilukas?
You know, they said it on the Q&A this week, and I cannot remember how they pronounced it.
All right, the Nicholas room.
Nicholas.
The first 21 waves of the encounter have been removed, so it'll be much quicker. They did reduce the pillar's health from 140 to 130.
Okay. 21 waves seems like a lot. I don't know if one Niloka is one wave.
I think so. I think one like wave, like, you know, one set of them coming out. Because it was like the slowest room with like 6 minutes, and you're just like, okay, micromanage all these ads.
Yeah, split up. And
so they did change it up though. So the boss that comes after all the waves, if you hit him with the wrong attack style, you'll reflect 100% of the damage you do, and he heals 100% of it.
Right. Previously it was 50%.
Yeah, now it's 100, and he's gotten an extra 500 hit points. He went from 2k to 2.5k, so pretty big buff there.
Yeah, okay.
Onto him. Which is good, though. I think it's fitting. It should be more based on a buff or boss instead of a a horde of fucking ants.
Yeah.
Yeah, they added a personal details info board, and it's pretty nice. I really do like it. It has a death count for everyone in the raid, and then a total. So it'll say, like, Deegan died 50 times.
Yeah, if you want to kick out that Jim character because he keeps dying,
You can actually see it at the end. You'd be like, look at this motherfucker. You're not getting no splits.
Shame him, publicly shame him.
Make a post on Reddit.
Yeah. It shows also the MVP, so whoever gets the most points, I guess, and the times of all your raids and your overall time, and then the challenge time. I don't know the difference between overall and challenges, but it is something.
Cool stuff.
Anyways, other changes. They made the Justicar,
I believe they're pronouncing it, the Jmods, as Justishar.
The leg guards have had the lower section of the cloth removed, so it doesn't look as skirty.
Okay.
They added the new attack animation for the Grazi.
Right?
It's better, but I feel like it looks really weird.
You should be holding it differently. Like, you should hold it as a duelist would. Go look up at a fencer and see how they hold it.
Yeah, that would make the animation look a lot more cool, because you're like holding it and then you kind of just like you kind of like do this really weird line. You just like,
Yeah, like fencing is.
But like right now, like your guy's holding, he's all stiff looking and shit, and then he like does this really weird animation and it doesn't like transition well. And like I think a walking animation when you're bank standing saying trust me with your 15 mil or something, and you're following that person, like you'll look cooler while you do it.
What I think would look kind of cool, it's probably a lot of work and might come with a lot of bugs, but what would be a cool way to hold it? You hold it straight up in the air, at like you're holding kind of like a longsword is, but you have your shield hanging off your back, and you have your one arm across the arch of your back, like you're holding your one arm behind your back. I think that would be kind of cool.
It'd be pretty neat. Only issue would be with like clipping and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably going to be a lot of work. Now you have to make a new animation basically for every single type of offhand in the game.
It'd be cool though. Anyways, they made the falling hands during the bloat encounter take slightly longer. I think it's the second time they've been nerfed, which is good because that shit was like RNG.
Yep.
They changed the click area of the challenge exit room so you don't accidentally leave without grabbing your supplies.
Cool.
So Sag's large ball of energy is now consistent in terms of timing, regardless of your distance from the boss.
All right.
If you're close range, sometimes you just got dicked on. Like, that was it.
Yep.
The projectile attacks should no longer stack you multiple times in the same game cycle. We think we talked about it. It hit you, like the damage was calculated on the tick it hit you, and you could change how, like, you could run away from it and you would have more time to pray, or you can move towards it having less time. And so if you were like stacking on a person, a death dotting for like that previous projectile that we were just talking about, he could shoot two little balls at you and you get hit with major range at the same tick.
Yeah.
Plus you're sharing damage, so like you could get stacked out because JX, messed up mechanics, but that's fixed. They now have a clan chat to help players look for teams.
Perfect.
I really don't know. I don't know how successful this will be. I should actually try it out.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe I should stop looking for clans for a bit and just like check out this chat and just see what teams I get.
Yeah, just do it up.
Just see. I don't know. Maybe it's really good, but I don't know. The average defender no longer has a full stop at the end of its name. I'm assuming they added like a period at the end or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
The defender has had its death protection value increased. And the following messages within the Theater of Blood have had their color changed for increased visibility.
Cool.
The new Justicar leg guards look worse, in my opinion.
It seems as if all their dev blog pictures of like the character models look a little bit shoddy.
Yeah, I feel like it's in low detail. I just think it's like put a fucking slit at the bottom of the skirt. You know what I mean? Like cut the fabric a bit in the middle.
Now it's kind of like a high-waisted skirt.
Yeah, now it's like, you'd be grinding up on this person in the club. They got some mini skirt going on.
Yeah.
they're avoiding vents so it doesn't get blown up, like
showing their inner thigh. We can't have this.
It's a medieval game. No ankles.
Yeah, no ankles at all.
No, I don't know. I think like they need to like texturize the skirt more, and they could do that by like adding like a cut in the middle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like separating the cloth a bit. Maybe I just have to see someone walking around with it. This image makes like Prims look shitty and stuff, and the amulet, the torture ornate looks shitty. So maybe it's just the image that they took. They need a new photographer.
Yeah.
That's my Tinder profile. Anyways, so my bio. Anyways, Dead Man Summer Finals has begun. I don't know if you've watched any of it, but
Not really.
I watched a bit of Foe this morning.
Yep, so this is going to be going on for about a week,
Yeah.
which also means the tournament will be next Saturday.
Yep. That'll be nice. Are you going to be around for it?
I should be home. I do enjoy watching them. What we should try to do is maybe have a little viewing party in the Discord for anyone else who's interested in watching it. We've done it a few times, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, just make sure you don't have open mics and like a loud TV or something in the background.
Yeah.
We've talked about all the changes they made. I don't know if we should talk about it again, but the changes they made during the seasonal, like most of them have carried on into the finals.
Yep.
The things like the pyramid tops now turn to cash upon death.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about all the changes. There's a bunch. I don't really know if it's worth going into it because it's literally like a list of shit that you go, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Like it's nothing like special, I guess.
Yeah, when you look at for both the changes here and the changes for the spring. Oh no, this is the spring. Yeah, when you look at the list of the changes, they all have in brackets at the end carried over from the seasons.
Yeah.
Swapping Emuling's band. I think we've talked about that one 4 different times. Dragons now drop double the bones.
Yeah. A lot more like resources, fishing and prayer, I guess. All that stuff comes in a lot easier. Barrows, you have a better chance of getting brews and stuff. You can buy runes and arrows easier or quickly. Blah, 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 blah. You know all that stuff. You get free Zeah favor. You can't get loot while pickpocketing in safe zones. If you're me, you just can't get loot because you die all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone sucks.
I think really the only one we should mention, Jagex will allow logging in temporarily after a player logs out during the permadeath stage at the discretion of Jagex.
Yep.
And allow the first section of the permadeath stage to be paused at the discretion of Jagex.
Yeah, so this doesn't mean that you can log in and out and be like, there's Rot and log out for 30 seconds and log in. If you get logged, you'll have to like contact Jagex. So 90% of the people will be fucked, but
I'm sure there's going to be people sitting off on the side that when somebody logs out who hasn't been killed, they'll have a little notification where they can view what happened and be like, oh, this guy's a popular streamer. Let's let him back in.
yeah, I think a lot of it is if anything happens, like if I disconnect, that's my fault. But if the servers disconnect, which we'll probably talk about it later on this episode, they've been pretty shit. Look at the Australian Worlds. There's a reason why everyone's in those right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
So it's going to be iffy. You know what? I didn't even think about why the servers are being fucked right now, but it could be, no, it's happened before Dead Man. I don't know. Never mind. So they do have a contingency plan in case, 160 players simultaneously log out.
Yeah, you want to run through that real quick?
I guess. So
Not really, but okay, fine.
they pretty much say protect your IP. If you get targeted by people in DDoS, well, you messed up. That's your fault.
Yep, if you directly get targeted, you joined a TeamSpeak, you logged into a forum clan website, or you're using Rune Loader.
This is the one thing I don't like, but they say you should have a backup connection available, aka use your mobile hotspot, worst case scenario.
Yeah.
But I'm spending fucking $80 a month, and I only get 3 gigs of data.
You got the shittiest plan that could exist. I mean, Canada, we get terrible rates when it comes to the mobile phone plans, but you have a terrible plan to be like. I pay $60 a month. I get 10 gigs of data. If I go over, I just get throttled. I don't get any extra charges.
This is why I'm paying so much, though. In my area, my cell phone provider is the only one that is actually good.
The one that I'm with, are you with Bell?
Yeah.
So the company that I'm with uses all of their towers.
Yeah, I have a friend who uses the same company as you, and they had no service at my place.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, they only got service at my college, so it's like and then I checked with Rogers too, and it's still shitty everywhere.
Anyways, Canadian problems.
Yep. Yeah, I'm paying like 300 times more than the average person for fucking shitty cell phone. But anyways, yeah, but what if you're like, I guess it's just a Canadian issue. Maybe you're in the boonies. What if you're in the boonies? I guess it's your fault.
Yeah, or you're out camping and you are using your mobile hotspot.
Dead man modes in the last hour.
Yeah.
Bears are fucking rolling up on you, but you're still shredding.
You're like, fuck.
Yeah, so if you suspect your IP has been compromised, it is recommended that you contact your ISP. The majority of them will change your IP at your request.
Mm-hmm.
Find a customer service. So if you're Canadian or American, sit on the phone for like 3 hours and get someone who's super incompetent to be like, that's not how IPs work.
Yeah, so basically, as soon as the day of the tournament starts, start calling them, place them on hold. You'll be placed on hold. Hopefully by the time they answer, dead man mode will either had just started or about to start.
I think if you just unplug your router for like 10 minutes or some shit, you should get a new. I think you can do that. Maybe it's not consistent, but I think you can do that.
Yeah, but then again, Jagex has to give you the approval to log back in.
Yeah, and being DC'd for 10 minutes is kind of bad.
Yeah.
So it is now possible for them to stop the progression of the deadly fog, and they can disable PvP until they resume the play, sorry. It is now possible for a player who has not died to log back in, and whew. It is now possible for a player who has not died to log back in up to 60 seconds after logging out. It's a hard cap on the number of times a player can log in, so you just can't log in and out over and over and over again.
Yeah.
They can untoggle or toggle on and off this cap, just in case everyone's disconnecting a lot. But I guess when I said you have to wait for them, I lied. I guess you can log out to avoid fights.
As long as you didn't disconnect and your character's just standing still for a minute and having to log out after the timer goes off.
I wonder if you could X-log on someone. You bring like an alt and box on them and then just fucking X-log.
I'm sure if you can, we'll see it.
Yeah. This is gonna be the next issue. This is what I'm predicting it.
Love it.
People finding ways to log in and out during like the final tournament, the 1v1s. Gas is coming in. Oh fuck. Okay, Freeze, stand under him. Okay, and it's a 1v1 situation. Gas is coming in and he logged out. Okay, he's got 50 seconds to log back in.
Now, this is a strategy that we've seen just kind of appear recently, where this allows you to kind of take a break, collect your thoughts, log back in, and catch them by surprise. Oh, John's logged back in, and Tim's logged out now.
Look at him. He's logging in, barraging, running under him before you can hit him back, and then logging out instantly.
It's going to be some new mechanic that accidentally is just part of the game now.
Yeah. He's tick logging.
Yeah.
He's logging out the same tick he takes damage, so it doesn't actually go through. Oh my god.
Log out flicking.
Yeah.
But really, this is why we watch the Dead Man Mode tournaments. Sure, it's fun to see who wins, but really, we're the winners when one of these problems happen.
Yeah, speculate the drama.
Yeah. If it's just a normal tournament and somebody wins, that's like a couple hours worth of entertainment. If it's a problem like this is days of entertainment for us.
There's a little bit more we should continue. There might be some more shit that we could theory craft and what we could abuse. It is now possible for them to pause during the 1v1 stage by stopping the appearance of deadly fog and disabling PvP until we decide to resume play. Any pausing of the 1v1 stage will pause combat in all 1v1 fights. The banking phase has been increased to 10 minutes from 5. This should be enough time to ensure that you are playing on a stable connection and have a backup connection on hand. So during the deadly fog phase of the permadeath stage, should any player experiencing connectivity issues which are local to them, only affecting them, there'll be no action. That's your fault. That sucks. Pretty much, I think all these are just to cover their own asses, but during the deadly fog phase of the permadeath stage, If there's any disruption that affects a significant amount of users, they can, let them log in and they'll pause it and blah, blah, blah. Pretty much reiterating everything we just talked about. During the 1v1 stage, should a player be, experiencing connectivity issues and they log out before the fight begins, they only have until the fight begins to log back in.
Yeah, it's usually 5 minutes or something?
Yeah, now it's 10, so.
10 minutes? Oh, that's not bad. That's good. That's okay.
Yep. During the 1v1 stage, should credible evidence emerge that suggests an account is being maliciously targeted by other players, then we will take action against them. We will not be able to return a player to life, and they will not at any point, under any circumstance, restart the event of the finals.
Nice.
We will endeavor to announce the results of the finals on the night of the event, but should more investigation be required, then they will wait. So when that one guy is fucking playing against 7 people who all mysteriously disconnect or have 80% packet loss, which happened last season, by the way, there's good evidence on that, they'll probably ban him. But that also brings the thing where what is stopping, is there going to be a meta game where fuck, this guy is better than all, this guy in this clan is better than all these people in these clans, he's going to beat them all in 1v1s, let's just DDoS our own members and to make him get banned.
Again, that's the problem.
Yeah.
As good as evidence is, there is never 100% solid evidence unless you sneak into the person's house and you videotape them DDoSing people.
Yeah. But that's why I guess they say substantial evidence. It's not oh, I'm lagging. Look, Jagex, I'm lagging.
Yeah.
So that is pretty much it for Deadman Garbage.
So yeah, that tournament will be happening this Saturday, June the 30th at 7:30 p.m. BST. So do the conversion yourself. We'll do EST right now because that's relevant to us. Or 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you know what time it is going to be happening in your neck of the woods. Luckily, if you're playing RuneScape at the time, there will most likely be a notification where you can go and watch it on Twitch.
Yeah, you can just right-click the notification, bring up the site.
By the way, they will be streaming it on their new account, their new Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/oldschoolrs. Not a huge fan of that one because when I was trying to find some of the Q&As, I was on my phone, so it was kind of more a pain in the ass to look for it. But it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I had to go onto their Twitter account and then go through it and see when they linked their Twitch channel.
Yeah, we got a little bit more to talk about. They did a content survey, which is obviously optional, but go to the main website. They have a little link for you, Make sure you go, go directly to the site and grab the survey because, there will be phishing sites and emails and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the problem. They sent you an email. I saw it, but I was a little scared to actually click it. And unfortunately, they do not send it to your message center on the RuneScape website. So go onto the old school RuneScape and go through the dev blog. You can click it yourself if that's something you're interested in.
Yep. So some of the questions are, I already took the survey, so I can't see them, but it's pretty much...
I do have it up right now, so I can quickly look at it. It's only a few questions. So it's first, how old are you? When did you first discover old school RuneScape?
What is your mother's maiden name?
Yeah, what's your favorite sport? What city did you grow up in? But the second question is, when did you first discover old school RuneScape? It has from 2013 when it first launched all the way to 2018, and then it has any time before 2013. But I guess this is strictly old school RuneScape, not RuneScape in general, so I guess that makes more sense. They next have, where did you first hear about old school RuneScape? So it'd be Twitch, word of mouth, YouTube, online advertisement, social media, or played RuneScape before 2013. What content do you play in old school RuneScape? PVM, raids. That's weird they have those separated. PVM, then they have raids as another one you can click. You can click multiple ones, though. PvP, questing, minigames, and skilling. No bank standing, so shame. What content do you most enjoy in old school RuneScape? Bosses, raiding, player versus player, questing, minigames, skilling. Other. What's most important to you in a piece of content? So then you can rate these from 1 to 10, I'm guessing. 1 to 7, that's weird.
More accurate.
Yeah, I guess. So these ones are chances of an exciting drop or reward, money made per hour, high XP per hour. It's fun to play. There's other players involved. It is AFKable, and it tells a story. And then the last one they have is there anything else you would like to see not included in the list above from a piece of content? So it could be better graphics, or, as someone mentioned on our Discord, a new mechanic skill so you can drive cars around RuneScape.
Yep. Yeah, whoever thought of that is a genius.
Yeah, we do need some sort of mounts. We don't want to follow the theme as other MMOs go. You don't want to ride a horse because that's just so common in other games. Driving cars, maybe you can get like a bus, airplanes at some point.
Yeah.
You can have water mounts, like a submarine.
You know what they should add? They should add a transportation method, because we all know we need more teleports, but it should be like the cannons from Super Mario. From Mario 64, sorry.
And you have to you point them in a direction and shoot it. You know what I mean? And hopefully you land where you want to go.
Fuck, I'm in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Telly.
You're in Lumbridge, you need to get to Varrock, and you're like, okay, I hope this thing doesn't shoot too far. And I'm at the Mage Bank.
And I'm in a free-to-play world. Yeah, so depending on what you vote is what, like, you'll get more questions, though. So if you vote, like, oh, I liked a PVM and raid, at least, like, I found that I was getting questions specifically to what I was voting for. Like, it expands onto it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. They get everyone, it's not like I'm talking about, like, skilling when I'm not the biggest skiller or something, you know? I mean, I like it, but, like, I'd say I prefer raids over everything.
Yeah.
And so I had like a lot of questions based on raids and stuff. It's kind of cool. But yeah, make sure you go and vote. All that good stuff.
Yeah, definitely vote, because then you can kind of... You know what they say? If you don't vote, you can't complain. They said about like elections and stuff like that.
Yep.
So even if you don't think you're going to have an impactful vote, just do it so that you can complain when some content comes out that you're not a fan of.
See, I like to complain, so I'm always voting. I'm always the first one there just so I can complain.
That is good.
Yeah. Anyways, though, that's it for the news. Community stuff now?
Yeah, I guess we're into community stuff. So, as you mentioned before, there's something weird going on with the servers right now. That's like today is Saturday. So, as of today, there are some weird things happening with the servers. If you look at them, half the worlds have -1 players in it. So everyone's kind of jumping to the Australian servers because those ones are good to go.
Yeah, even a couple days beforehand, the servers have been randomly disconnecting and stuff.
Yeah, I've noticed. People are saying it's a DDoS. Jagex hasn't said anything that I'm aware of, at least.
I feel like I've been saying about it for like a month. Their servers have been getting shittier and shittier. It started a little bit around the first wave of maintenance they did. But, like, I get fucking micro DCs, like, every hour. And I'm not, like, hard disconnecting, but my game will, like, freeze up for, like, 5 seconds. And then, like, it just continues like nothing happened. So it's, like, server side.
Yeah.
And then, now I started to actually hard disconnect. And so I've been in Australian Worlds for the past day and a bit.
Yeah,
and
okay,
there's
fair
weird
enough.
things where, like, we had issues where some guy on the CC, no one was getting his messages. Because he was this is what I'm assuming, he was in an instanced area that was having server issues, and, like, his messages were not coming up in the CC. I guess he just thought everyone was ignoring him or some shit, but, like, no one, like, saw his shit, and then we found out he couldn't talk to anyone, so then he, like, re-logged, and I think he changed servers, and it was fine. Servers have been so fucking trash, though.
Yeah, it's, I guess it happens from time to time. And I guess the last thing that we have is Jagex has since brought on 2 more Jmods onto the team. And they are Mod Bruno, which is a QA analyst, Mod Monroe, which is a content developer, as well as Mod Lenny. Okay, so we got 3 of them. Never mind, sorry. Apparently there's a 3rd one, Mod Lenny as well. Anyways, they brought the 2 Mod Bruno and Mod Monroe onto the QA this week, the Q&A, and kind of introduced themselves. One of them, I believe it is Mod Bruno, has his Inferno cape and is running the Theater of Blood quite a bit. So it's nice to see like a new Jmod join the team who is very experienced in PVM content.
Yep.
And they always ask the Jmods when they first come on, what is it that you want to change with old school RuneScape, basically? Like, what do you want to bring to the table now that you're on the team? Let me just quickly play what they said.
The final question that Mod Archie usually asks every new person is, if you could add anything to the game without a poll, what would you add? And why?
This is quite a repeated thing, but probably the clan system. I quite like clanning, and I think it's a really good aspect of the game, and it'd be really nice to improve it.
Yeah. Cool.
Probably just a way to get rid of all the old quest junk from my bank that's blocking up and get back some of the spaces, because mine is always full.
If you ever want to update the Wise Old Man to cover all members' quests, etc., you are most welcome to do so.
So, anyways, the reason I wanted to play that there is because we've been talking about the clan system for a very long time. Not a very long time, I shouldn't say that, but we have talked about it, how it's very bare bones, and it has been that way for a very long time. And it would be great to see it be improved in the future. They've talked about how they also want to do it, but that it's such a big job that it might be as big as like a Theater of Blood edition.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see that this new Jmod who joined the team, who's big into PVMing, kind of wants to make it a priority to fix the clanning system, so he might have some good ideas. If you've played other MMOs, there's a bunch of things you can pull ideas from. I would love to see a calendar that you can put clan events onto. Hey, we're going to have a house party and drop party this Friday, and then you have this clan calendar that somebody could click, and it would have the month, and then you'd see, hey, Friday, they're doing something. One idea, but there's tons you could do, like a message of the month, a clan description, blah, 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 blah.
How would you feel about like a clan hall? Like a guild hall type thing?
So this might be a little controversial.
So not like how RS3 does it.
See, this is what I was going to say. I kind of like how RS3 does it. I don't like it how you're kind of forced to go there and do some skilling in order to improve it.
Yeah, like I remember joining a clan in RS3 and getting kicked because I wasn't doing my dailies.
Yeah, that part in itself is annoying, but I do really like everything else about it, how you have this clan citadel or clan castle, you have these other buildings that you can build and repair and upgrade through skilling in that little area. I really do like clan housing, though.
Okay, so like, because I feel like clan housing could potentially be the best way to have a gold sink.
Yeah, like the player-owned house, but it's your clan-owned house.
Make it like, some of it's construction-based, obviously, but like, where you put money into like a donation type thing, and like, you can get your name recognized in the clan forever. You know what I mean? So let's say like, we have a clan and there's like 50 of us, and everyone puts in 50 mil, but then like 3 years from now, like you can still see those people that donated to like certain rooms. Like this person donated this much to like the banking area or some shit, right? Or like,
that's an interesting idea. It'd be cool to have maybe like a high score on who donated the most as well within your clan. But my only problem is when you join a clan too late and everything's been built and you can't really contribute anymore. So you kind of missed it on the ride, and then it's a little thing being like, this guy helped build this thing, but
yeah, I mean they could have other things, right? Like other ways to get recognition.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, if you ever played Guild Wars 1, if any of you guys play Guild, like fucking second best MMO, I guess. That like that game was the fucking shit, and it was very not Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is trash. It's for trash boys. Don't play it.
I don't mind. It's not bad.
Compared to Guild Wars 1 though, like that game had like out of any MMO I've ever played, like a true sense of like guild or clan. Like it's called Guild Wars, right? It's better be, but like they had guild halls and stuff, and from there you'd actually go and like buy different things to like add to it aesthetically, and then like for use and stuff, you could add vendors and banks and stuff. But the main thing is that, like they could add something where it's a better way for like clan wars to actually work out. So Guild Wars had a thing where you could do 10v10 guild v guilds, and that was huge. That was really, really big, and people obviously fought to be like the best guild. So they could easily implement like the clan wars portal, have like a certain world for like guild or clan related events.
That's
and
cool.
You could go up and sign up for like clan v clans. Like and then from there have like a high score system that you could like have like a notice board in your room or in your, like they could add like so much. I mean, obviously we're idea guys right now.
Yeah, that's what we do best.
If they were to implement like a clan thing, it would be really neat to have clan events where it's like skilling, right? Where maybe you're not maybe you do get experience, but you could like sign up for like a skilling event. You and your clan go in, you guys get like an instance world with a bunch of different things, pool together, which clan gets the most amount of experience after X amount of hours. And instead of it having it based on solely like benefiting your guild by like mining this rock for 2 hours a day and having as many people do it as possible, if you have 10 people, you guys could just go in and have some fun. Make it more community based instead of experience based.
Yeah, that's interesting. That one probably a little bit more difficult to iron out all the kinks. There's a bug, somebody will find it.
I guess they're just ideas, but they do need to fix the clan interface and stuff, like the whole bare backbone of it.
I really like the idea of having the Clan Wars sign up page where you can sign up and then it can have like a high score of all the best clans. But in order to, because it's so easy to make a CC right now, to make a clan chat, you just make a new account. Any person has their own private clan chat. So It makes it difficult right now for you just have a clan sign up page. But if you have a clan citadel, that's going to cost you some money as a whole. And then once you have that, maybe you need to build a scoreboard within there. And once you have that, you're now an official clan and you can use that to sign up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this way you're not having a huge influx of all these clans that have like 4 people in it. And there's just because anyone can make a clan right now. But this way you have this clan citadel area, the clan guild hall. It's going to cost you can actually have to put some money into it. So you're not going to have one person on their own making this clan hall because they're just whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool idea.
It would be really nice to because the main thing is that they could make the clan interface and stuff amazing. Only reason why I brought up all this shit is because at this point they could make the clan interface amazing, and it's like now there's a friends clan and like an actual clan where you can hey, I want to hang out in Wild CC, but I'm in a very serious PVM clan. And I kind of have to be in there to actually PVM.
Yep.
You don't have to choose between, Wild Boys or Slayer Boys. I don't know, whatever. Build a sense of community or a want, something to work towards in a group of people. That will be better than some interface.
Yeah, it's a bonding experience. It's team building.
Yeah. You go PKing, you accidentally bring 40 mil, you die. It sucks, but it's a funny story for me to tell,
to bring up from time to time.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's cool to see the hopefully we see at RuneFest this year they might announce, hey, we're gonna overhaul this clan system, we're gonna make it amazing.
Yep. The whole quest item from Wise Old Man thing, I just want to bring this up. It's so much work. It'll be so much work just for that feature. And then when they add in new quests,
yeah, they got to go back and take them out.
They, not only that, they could implement a feature where if Wise Old Man takes an item out of your bank, he holds onto them, parentheses.
That's a good idea.
And then you could talk to him and then just type in the item and he'll give it to you.
Yeah, that's how it should, that's a good idea. That's how it should be done.
Yeah, that'd be neat, but that would be that's a stupid amount of mind-numbing work for a programmer to add that. It's literally finding a list of every single quest item and then adding a bunch of lines of code and then adding the quest items to, you know what I mean? It's just okay, let's just sit here for fucking 10 hours and do this. Oh, I forgot one item. Oh god. Which one?
Yeah.
It's Bone and Ragman Part 2.
Oh yeah.
It's that, but work and you're getting paid for it.
Ideas are on fire today, eh?
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Dude, professional idea, guys.
Yeah, put your application in.
Yeah.
But that's all I have for community stuff. Do you got anything for us?
Well, I guess I'm kind of stealing what you put in. But Hardcore Iron Man hacked and suicided.
Right.
Rank 1 attack, was it? And
other combat skills.
He was rank 1 in 2 combats, though.
See, here's the problem. I was going to talk about this, and I had some of the posts on Reddit pulled up and some Twitter posts, and I was looking through them.
Oh, this was intentional that you didn't bring it up.
Well, as I was reading through it throughout the week, I just got more and more confused.
Okay, so this is from what I understand the timeline is. So if you don't have ad block, I do have ad block, but let's just see. I have like two kinds of ad block. And I have a thing that like tells me when shit is like not real. Anyways, if you type in RuneLite on Google, the first link will be a phishing site. Like the actual site is runelite.net. The safest thing you can do is like what happens if you do like RuneLite Discord? Then you type in RuneLite Discord, the first thing that comes up is a subreddit post.
Mm-hmm.
You join that, and then from there they have an official link. And this is like, it's got 7 upvotes. Now it's got 8 from 5 months ago in the RuneLite subreddit. So you can just go to the subreddit /r/RuneLite. Actually, let me just double check, make sure this isn't like a phishing thing. That'd be super awkward. No, they don't have any like direct link. Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah. Anyways, you go from there. Much safer if you go through the Discord. Make sure like if you'll know when you're in the right RuneLite Discord, because like there's hundreds, if not thousands of members. You know what I mean? They have like a whole like there's thousands of members online. You'll know when you're in the right one. It's pretty obvious. Join through there. Anyways, this hardcore Iron Man went to the phishing site by accident and signed up, got downloaded it, and he got hacked. So then the guy proceeded to hack him and suicide while claiming to be somebody else.
Right.
So the guy was rank 1 attack and defense. There's a video of it on Twitter. And the guy is like phishing phishing.rs, number 1 hacked by like this guy's name in-game, this guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the guy hacked him and suicided, which is like super fucked up.
Yeah, that's
really piece of shit thing to do. It's like throwing away thousands of hours for what reason? You know what I mean? Like you get nothing out of it. You fucking whatever. And so phishing, like PH phishing.rs, supposedly, I haven't gone on the site, but supposedly is an anti-RuneScape phishing site. So they teach you ways on how to prevent getting phished. There's over 15 volunteer members that actively prevent this stuff from happening. And I guess the guy was like trying to deter people from going on this site. I'm not too sure, even though it's the shittiest website name ever.
Yeah, so I just went on to it because maybe I'm going to get phished and lose all these blood runes I've been doing. But anyways, just looking at it now, they claim to be a group of players, volunteers, and they will work towards taking down those YouTube channels that have that one video that they'll advertise in the GE saying, hey, win 1 million, well, way more than 1 mil, win 100 mil, go onto this YouTube channel, check out the details how to do it. The channel will have a link to the quote unquote forums. It's a fake forum. You sign up to it and now you've been phished. They will work towards muting and freezing in-game accounts. I'm assuming some of these are player mods.
Or maybe they have like mass report bots.
Yeah.
which honestly I'm okay with if they're doing it for good. Some vigilante type stuff.
Well, we all know the problem with vigilantes. But anyways, they will talk with victims on how you can secure your account and update, your overall security. And they'll do it with websites, blah, 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 blah. They do what this is what they claim to be doing. I'm not saying they don't. I'm not really too sure. I'm just going off their website right now. He did mention that they do contact the Jmods, but they're not like a official or unofficial group that is able to do this. So they don't always get replies right away from Jmods.
Yeah.
So they'll get a reply just as easily as one of us would get a reply.
Yeah.
And Lord knows we might not get our replies because neither of us have got this Orb of Oculus that I've been trying to get.
Let's check my Twitter, actually. Let's see if I've been blocked by any more Jmods. No responses. No blocks, though, so we're good.
It's good.
Hey, Modrock got a Vorky pet, though. Cool.
Hey,
he's got time to tweet that, but not to reply to any of my tweets. That's cool. Whatever. I mean, I know he's given out Orbs of Oculus orbs before, but that's fine. Whatever, man.
He probably looks at your tweets and is like, wow, this is way too many caps. This guy has the caps lock just fucking on.
I swear fucking God, you have 5 days.
Yeah.
Just threats. Just baseless threats.
You forgot to even include that you need the Orb of Oculus.
Yeah. But anyways, the guy says, hey, this is why it wasn't actually me. The arson they used, he actually hadn't been using for like well over a month, he claims, and all this stuff. I say claim because I don't want it to be some like meta anti like, you know, some weird ass like thing we're getting involved in, but
yeah, we become a vigilante of the vigilantes.
Yep. So the main thing is that be careful on being phished if you're downloading RuneLite. You can't get banned for using RuneLite. I've used it since it came out. I haven't been banned. And if you get banned, it might be because you had bought it. I don't know. No, you won't get banned for using RuneLite, but be careful to make sure you don't download the phishing site.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Do your extra research to figure it out. I want to say it's runelight.net.
Yeah, but to be safe, just Google like RuneLite subreddit, go to the subreddit, join the Discord. I mean, it's a lot of effort, especially if you don't have Discord, but you can go straight to the site from the subreddit too.
Or ask one of us or someone else who has it. Because when you have the client, you can easily join the RuneLite Discord. There's a button right on the client. That person can go in for you and check to see what the actual link is.
Yeah.
Again, but then when somebody sends you the link, do your extra research if they're not sending you a phishing link. Fuck, this is getting a
little bit too much, so let's move on.
Yeah, use the official client.
On the topic of Hardcore Iron Man, Foe's Hardcore Iron Man died.
Right. Foe is a popular streamer on Twitch who does Hardcore Iron Man content as well as Deadman mode content.
Yep. He had over 1,000 corp kills.
Yep.
The only reason why we're talking about it because like his account was fucking nice. He always did risky PVM stuff, which is nice. Like I like watching Alkin's YouTube. I mean, I guess he actually does PVM now, but he like maxed an Iron Man, a Hardcore Iron Man, just like slaying and skilling. Like it was not interesting in my opinion. I like to see like the bossing and the actual risk, you know? I want to see those like, you know, when your heart is in your ass type thing.
Oh yeah.
Foe did a lot of risky stuff. He had over 1,000 corp kills with no sigil, which is pretty unlikely. Like unlucky, sorry. He had some bad RNG, and then he ends up dying. Because you can get stacked out during the intermission phases, I guess. When you're not actually killing corp, you have to do a lot of specs. It's like 3 Warhammers, and then 20 arc lights, and then 200 damage to BGS, and then you go in and kill him.
Yep.
So during this whole ordeal, he got stacked out when he went to go spec it. Got hit with like 2 30s and a 39. So that sucks.
Yep, another one bites the dust.
Yep.
All Iron Men will come to an end at some point.
I think that's it. I mean, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I don't. There's probably some shitty memes that we're missing on that we just don't care to talk about. But I think
no meme of the week this week, unfortunately. We could make one.
Yeah, you want to try and make a meme right now?
Yeah. Fuck, this is tough. I guess I don't give them enough credit. I guess I look at it, I just think low effort, but more than 30 seconds worth of effort. I'm struggling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's.
We'll revisit this. We'll come back with a meme bonus episode.
Year in review next.
Yeah, year in review. Yep. Perfect. With that being said, we're going to move on to our extremely brief lore segment this episode.
Zeah is an island on Gielinor.
Yeah. Last week, we finished up with the history that we currently know of the Kingdom of Great Kurend. This week, with our extremely brief lore segment, we will be talking about the 3 events that have happened on Zeah. There's very little to no information about these events, aside from one. These events are known as the Age of Strife, the Ascent of Arceus, and the War of the 5 Houses. We do not have known dates or details of these events currently, Of the 3 events, though, we know a little about the event, the Ascent of Arceus. This marked when the Arceus House managed to achieve immortality by using the power of the Dark Altar. They were able to move their souls from their mortal body to a corporeal one, where they could live for eternity. But that is all the information we currently know. I assume as more quests come out on Zeah, and they've finished building the piece of content, we will learn more information about these ages. In which case, we will return and talk more in depth about this lore section. All right, so now we're going to start wrapping this episode up. Getting a little tongue-tied, so that's usually when you know it's time to squash it. So first thing I want to mention, we did get a slight update. We got pointed in a direction for our whole skirts and old school RuneScape armor. So iSpin on Discord, he made a post saying that skirt-like armor, or I guess it's armor, was commonly used with the Vikings, or certain groups of Vikings, and they had these like fur, hide, skirt pieces.
Yeah.
So we got some direction to start looking.
But here's the thing. You have yak hide legs. They're not yak hide skirts.
Fuck.
On natives.
Damn it,
not?
Jagex. God damn it.
Yeah.
Turning this world upside down on me.
Checkmate. Next point.
We will
just
get to the
kidding.
bottom of this one. We will get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, it's really weird. Maybe I should stop asking about orbs of the Oculus orbs and like why are there so many skirts.
Yeah, you could do that. Take the caps lock off and you might get a response.
Yeah.
And maybe less emojis.
I don't know. I think when am I getting an Oculus orb eggplant water drop winky face? I always thought that was a good way to get the orb.
Yeah, I thought that would have worked too, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Maybe I gotta just add some selfies with those posts.
You could. Wearing skirts.
Maybe I'll make a new Twitter account and then I'll like pretend to be a girl and then be like, and see if that works. Maybe I'll do some testing. No, I'll still be Deegan.
Oh, okay.
It'll still be the exact same Discord picture I have. I'll just like put I'll Photoshop some eyeshadow.
Maybe better results.
I guess you'll only get that if you have checked me up on Twitter. Twitch and Twitter, DeeganRS.
There it is. All right, that's my cue to start.
That was just that whole thing was just to plug my Twitch and Twitter again.
Well, that's perfect. All right, guys. So if you want to get in contact with us, maybe you want to let us know what Steam games you bought this summer, or you want to give us some more information on skirts, or tell us about your merching losses or wins, or just add in whatever it is that interests you in that little section there. You can contact us on Twitter at TheWildernessRS. Our Facebook is facebook.com/TheWildernessPodcast. Our email is TheWildernessPodcast@gmail.com. And missing something. Oh, our clan chat, probably one of the more important ones, is WildCC, if you would like to hang out with us in-game. And also, I usually forget to say this, but if you're watching this on YouTube, you can feel free to just leave a comment as well. That works. And our Discord will be posted on both Facebook and Twitter. And, well, Deegan, you plugged your stuff. You can do it again if you want.
Twitch and Twitter, DeeganRS.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. Maybe I should like make some t-shirts, have a Teesprings, and all it says is Twitch and Twitter, DeeganRS.
You could do that.
Hand them out for free. Just go on the streets.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Our song of the week this week is The Maidens Anger. This one is unlocked in the Theater of Blood during the fight of the Maiden of Sugadinti. Thank you so much for listening to episode 90. Catch us next week for episode 91. We're almost going to hit the halfway mark.
Yeah, hey, let's see if I can get 91 fishing before episode 91.
Fuck, that'd be sick. All right, guys, till next week. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.